Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today we're going to go ahead and discuss the latest news that has come out about Reading Football Club. Now normally we're a lot more upbeat in these videos, but today we're not going to be. Our tone of voice is normally a lot more upbeat, but today it's a serious matter if we're being completely honest, and in my opinion we could see the death of Reading Football Club come in the next few months. If something doesn't change, that is the reality that we're going to be facing. Now, I'll leave the link to the article in the description down below. It's Reading, the club with an absent owner and unable to break cycle of financial crisis. Now, I'm not going to read the full thing to you because The Athletic do fantastic work, but I am going to read the key points off. Now, the November payroll for players was met due to a loan from sponsors Select Car Leasing. The fact that this has happened again, absolute disgrace. The catering firm that have long term been at the training ground have left due to money owed. Nearly 6 figures was the reported fee for what was owed to them, and the players are now forced to eat microwave meals. Overnight hotel stays have been scrapped for Celes and his squad to cut costs. So when Reading have to play Fleetwood, when they've got to play Bolton, when they've got to play Carlisle, all these teams that are up north, they'll have to go on the day. Office staff are wearing coats at their desks due to cold working conditions at the stadium, so we can't even pay our heating bill. Redundancy letters are being sent out across the club, including at least 6 to the staff at the academy a week before Christmas. Now, the churn of personnel will not finish there. The January transfer window will likely see Reading's greatest assets sold, such as England under-20 defender Nelson Abbey, club vice-captain Tom Holmes, others including Tyler Binden, Charlie Savage, Sam Smith and Harvey Nibbs will be allowed to leave if valuations are met and payments are made up front. Assistant manager Andrew Sparks and director of player development Eddie Niezwicki were made redundant in a restructuring of Celes' support team last week. Several senior office staff have left without being replaced. As well as several senior staff leaving and not being replaced, redundancy letters were sent out to more than a dozen people in the days before Christmas. It is thought that at least 6 people will be relocated or will lose their job at Reading's youth setup, which is supposed to be a Category 1 academy. Now, the only message that I've got to relay here is that Dai Young is an absolute parasite of a human being. And if we're being completely honest, the world would be better off without him around. Like, this man needs to be gone instantly. He needs to leave Reading Football Club right now because he's asset stripping the club. What he's doing is he's asset stripping and trying to make as much money as possible out of an investment that he has fucked up on the most. He has invested his money wrongly, and now the club are being made to be punished for it. The club are being punished for his mistakes. And it's what frustrates me the most is that this big man with the money and the power is getting away with it when realistically football is the common man's game. Football is something that you spend a week at work churning away at your 9 to 5 or at your job to go and enjoy, see your mates, go and enjoy watching your football club play. And now I feel like in 4, 5, 6 months time I'm not going to have a football club to be able to enjoy. I feel like I'm going to be waiting on something like a Phoenix project to come up because Reading Football Club won't exist anymore. And that's the reality that I'm living in because Dai Young is stripping so many assets out of Reading and refusing to sell. Now, they talk about people that potentially could be taking over the club. So staff had begun to expect Geneva Associates to take over, only for an impasse in negotiations to leave their proposal in doubt last month. Paul Richardson, the owner of Hera Clothing, who also tried to buy Birmingham in 2022, and Mike Ashley, the former Newcastle owner, have held talks, but those interested parties have heard nothing from Reading since the turn of the year. The same extends to Roman Gevrakan, an Armenian businessman whose Noah Football Group owns stakes in Paris FC, Siena, and clubs in Hungary and Armenia, with Nigel Howe, Reading's former director, involved in discussion on the club's behalf. Now, he is not going to sell these clubs he is not going to sell this club to any of these people until administration is the option. Reading Football Club will not be sold until administration hits. That is my true firm believing. And the fact that players are going to go is heartbreaking as well, because it's what's going to mean that people get their wages. And let's be honest, people being able to live should be the priority, right? People being able to survive after doing their job should be the priority. But the fact that we're going to have to sell Reading's key assets to do that is what frustrates me the most. Nelson Abbey is out of contract in the summer anyway, but the fact that we might have to sell him, our best player at the club, if we're being completely honest, this season, he's going to go. Tom Holmes is someone who's, 23 years old. He's come back into the side and started playing really well. He's going to have to go. Charlie Savage has just signed a 4-year deal in the summer. He's a young prospect. He's going to have to go. Tyler Binden, 18 years old, bought him in for free. Fantastic bit of scouting. Realistically, is someone that you can get a couple of million for, if we're being honest. Maybe not in League One while we're down here now, but in a few years maybe you don't know what happens. But he's someone that's just going to go for cheap. Sam Smith, academy boy, loves the club through and through, just bought back in the summer. He can go. That's what they're saying. Harvey Nibbs, been a great signing since he's come in, since he's moved into the middle. He can go. Reading stand no chance of staying up if this is the case. If them players are going to go, Reading have no chance of staying up. And I feel so sorry for Ruben Sellis and the staff that are around him. James Oliver Pearce, all of the coaching staff that are with him, the goalkeeping coach, one goalkeeping coach left. It's not fair. It's absolutely not fair to anybody at the club. And the fact that this is happening all down to one man is just not fair. They released a statement today, did Reading. The CEO, Dai Yong Pang, has released a statement. Did he write that? Did he write that? Not at all. Not at all. According to sources that people have got, he weren't even interested. He didn't even care about the statement that was going to be issued. The only reason that has been issued today is because of the article that they knew were coming out, and they just wanted to do a bit of damage control in advance before that came out. He doesn't care about laying people off. He doesn't care about people's lives. They don't care about their staff, the Dai Yong Pang. None of them. They don't care at all. And they're absolute parasites of human beings. And they should be embarrassed with the way that they've run this football club into the ground, because hard-working people for over 150 years have made this club into what it is now. And the fact that it could all be thrown away because of a dodgy businessman is an absolute disgrace. It's got to be. I don't see how things like this, the government can't step in, the EFL can't step in, because they're also to blame. The EFL are also to blame for the fact that this man failed the Premier League fit and proper test. But he comes to the EFL and it's all right. And you see, it's not just Reading, but multiple businesses, multiple football clubs, multiple communities that are affected because of the EFL's, let's be honest, shitty fit and proper test. Clubs like West Brom, where they don't even know where their owner is, if we're being completely honest. You've seen clubs fail, absolutely fail, like Macclesfield, like Bury, that just disappear because of poor ownership. You see what was going on at Southend. You see what's going on at Scunthorpe. It's just not on. It really is not on. And these governing bodies, they're the ones to also be blamed. And they're the ones that have got blood on their hands. Reading Football Club is a community where everybody comes for the same reason. And Reading Football Club is like a home. It's like a second home. People will spend their hard-earned money every single week going home and away. You see the support that Reading get every week away. People will spend their hard-earned money to watch that team and to follow the club that they love up and down the country. I follow the club up and down the country because I love this football club. And I fear that I won't have that football club no more. It's going to be it for today's video. Apologies for the scenes of what it's like, but something needs to happen quick. Something needs to happen at this Port Vale game. I think storming the pitch needs to happen. Get the game abandoned. Sit in on the pitch. Something big needs to happen, because we ain't going to have a football club. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.